Hey there, folks. Let's do the daily target on CSSBattle.dev. And what do we got? We've got kind of an interesting pattern. To me, in any of these, I want to do what's the simplest thing. And to me, the curved radius on just a part of it makes me feel like I'd like to use my blank template, which uses a paragraph element as its central thing. And the default, as the plugin runs, has this red background and then of the body, and then a pink background on the paragraph element itself. And it's got a height that sets its height, and then margins are on the body to constrain it. So then it's a matter of replacing these colors. The background's not red. It's this, I want to say kind of an aqua, maybe almost green, maybe depending on your eyesight, right? Like that's how that works. And to me, this particular coloration might be well, let's set a color at least to get the shape right. And if we've got border radius, which we need to set at some point, assuming that there's some number there. So that's not where we want it. We want it to be what? There it is. So that's the rough shape. I guess I can do conic gradient here. And we'll do at least part of it. We'll go that 50%, right? So 180 degrees worth of the light, and then the dark, 75%, and then this light color again. Now there's several different ways to specify conic gradients. We could also do something like repeat conic gradient. It changes how we would do that. But basically we've got that, except for the upper corner. So let's see what we can do to constrain this. And the margins can go on either, right? Like we kind of get the same effect of either the margins are on the body or the margins are on the paragraph element because of the way the margins interact. And we can put it out here, and that's just fine. So let's push it down with the top margin, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I guess it needs to be taller, about 200. No, 200 is too tall, 170. So I'm adjusting the heights and widths to get the correct height. And because the diff is showing it's all black in this middle part, except for that square, which is, we will get to, the differences we see are because it's too wide, right? And so that's about this second number, the margins. And what these two numbers represent, 4 numbers, right? The top and bottom margin and the side margins. And in this case, the second number are the sides margins. So 8, 9, 100, 110, let's say, 112. And so the differences that we see are about this border radius and again that upper square. So let's see what we need to do there to get that border radius right. We'll do something silly like in inches. So 3 inches is way too much. 2 inches, 1 inch, all those numbers are no good. So let's just use pixels. We'll go low this time, 20, 30, 40, 50, and you can see that adjustment being made. 7, 8. So there's that number. 6, 7. So we decided it's 80 pixels, and that works just great. So then how do we do that final square? We could create another element. We could, we could clip path and then have a purple behind it. We could have done, instead of this background, we could do, instead of these margins, we could do borders around the whole thing, right? Around the body. Like there's a lot of different options. I tend to do the simplest one possible. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at there. All right. I kind of am actually thinking that one approach that I might take here is to turn this into a variable. So how do we do that extra square? Now I can do another conic gradient. And do the dark purple, 25%, and then transparent. And there it is. So this one is overlaid the rest of it. If I show you red, you can see that. If I do an at, what is it? 75 pixels, 25 pixels. 75, how about 100? 110, 20, 30, maybe 125, and then what, 50 pixels down? Oh, no, not quite. So I'm adjusting the center of that conic gradient that again has just that corner, and then the rest of it's transparent. So let's see, 120, yeah, and then 60. No, 50, 40. There it is. And this is a solution to this problem. Is there another way to do that? I guess we would need, either way, we're going to need two gradients of some sort. If we do a conic gradient that is, so we could also do what? So I'm going to nuke, or I'm going to comment this out. And I will do a repeating conic gradient, 0, 25%, and then 0, 50%, and we get that for free. So obviously we need to flip the color stops, right? Like that, it's just slightly wrong. But we still need to cover, in this case, this segment here. So, and any which way, we need to do something about that. So what is the thing that we need to do there? To me, yeah, it's another conic gradient, I guess. I mean, my tendency is to do that. But we could also do two linear gradients. That's another possibility. What else can we do? I mean, you could do wacky stuff like creating an after element, like a P after, with a width of 50 and a height of 50, background of red, content of, a space, and then display what block. Like there's a square. Like, obviously that's a lot of code, right? So like when I'm looking at these puzzles, I have so many different things that might enter my head, but I'm really trying to do the simplest possible thing. And this is why I don't necessarily discuss every possibility. So what do I want to do? I kind of had a working solution, didn't I? So let's go back to that. Clump, 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 clump. And there it was. Are there things that I can do to tune the rest of this? I mean, the other possibility is this is all just too much. And can we use the same linear gradient twice, right? Like, is there a way to the same kind of gradient twice? Is that what I said? I'm not sure what I said. Is there a way to reuse it with a variable? And I think that the answer is probably yes. So let's see what that is. Dash dash G for gradient, and we're just going to plop that in there, and then we're going to go ahead and say bar dash dash G. So there it is. And then if I have another one, now we can't see that that's not doing anything. I'm going to add a no repeat to it, and then I'm going to set it, and I'm going to give it a size, 40 pixels, 40 pixels, and I need a comma. So there it is. Isn't that interesting? So if I make it bigger, there I have a square. Let's move it over. Minus 20 pixels, 30, 40, and then over 120. And that's another solution. So obviously we've got a background position and background size that are applying there. But it's a way to reuse the same gradient and stuff it into a variable. And maybe that's a little shorter. It's not a lot shorter. The other thing we can do is that the way this is specified, we could do from what? From 180 degrees or from minus 90 degrees. And then have this be 75, and then this one would be 0. From minus 90 degrees and there. So that's actually the same kind of effect, but we're going backwards and then going forwards. We could also do from 180 degrees and then do flip the colors, have this be 25%. So this is when I think of kind of gradients, like flip, 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 like get familiar with MDN, right? Mozilla's got this great site, MDN, where you can look at all this different kind of code that you can write, and that's another way to go. Yeah, I think that's good. I think I've talked this one to death. I'm gonna submit again just in case I messed it up. Yeah, I know it looks good. Let's see what the servers say. Servers say good, and that's a better score. So let's minify and then unit replace. The minification compresses all that code, and then the unit replacement turns anything that's a long pixel value and turns it into, in this case, 30 VW, right? So that's another number. So that's 120 pixels is 30 VW, and I can do, I'm hitting undo, and I can just run that again. And again, these are the GitHub plugins that are linked in every one of these videos. And then we get our final score coming back from the server, and there it is. And that's pretty good. You could also do what? You could do border radius. Is it border right radius bottom? Border bottom right radius? I actually forget the syntax. So, but obviously there'd be more words. It's like right, blah, 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 blah. That's another thing to consider. But this tends to be, this is pretty good. There is an abbreviated syntax. Like you see, like there's 80 pixels, and then 80 pixels gets you this lemon shape, like lemons on its side, and then 80 is another kind of a thing, and then there you go. That's the final 80. So going around the sides. All right, that's enough. I've talked enough. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Go make a web page. Send a web page to your friend. It's really fun to make web pages. I love showing off little bits of HTML and CSS. These are for fun. Appreciate all you watching and sticking around and seeing me play around with HTML and CSS. It's a lot of fun for me, and I hope it's fun for you too. All right, bye-bye.